I'm gonna run, run, run till I find
Hey there, friends. It's your Bad Couch Guru, Lane Limberg, and today we are going to take a polar plunge. Yes, I know it's that time of year, and some of you have already taken the plunge this year. Some of you are on the fence thinking about it, and some of you have already gotten yourself bullied into it by some friends to do it, and now you're freaking out and wondering, what is it that I'm really getting into here? So, polar plunge, what is it? This is the 101 here. A polar plunge is a term for jumping into a ridiculously freezing cold body of water and jumping out of it really quickly, usually with just a bathing suit on. That's all, for the purpose of having fun and showing you can do it. Usually, most of them happen around either the New Year's, so it's kind of I guess you could call it a non-religious baptism into the new year. Is that a good way to say it? And a lot of them also will happen in, later in February or in other areas when it's not quite so bitter cold. Polar plunges, the ones that are organized by large communities, they usually serve a good, like a Special Olympics or a Cancer for Kids or some kind of charity that it raises money for. And others are just free form. And especially now with social media, it's a lot easier for communities to just organize a lot of these. I did do one polar plunge several years ago, and it was one of those free community ones, so I didn't have to pay for it, but it didn't support any charity. I was thinking about doing it because of my ego that can get in my way. The ego I like to pretend I don't have, but I know I really do. And so just as I was waffling back and forth between deciding if I was going to do this or not, I was single back then. I wasn't remarried yet. And I had met this gentleman who caught my attention, and I heard that he was going to do it. So there we go. My decision was made. I was like, oh, you're going to do the polar plunge? So am I. And then I'm like, crap. What did I just commit myself to? I wanted to prove I could do it. And it was a really dumb, stupid reason to do it. But I'm glad I did. So here is what my experience of a polar plunge, how it went for me. This was several years ago. They're usually mid-morning, and we all met at a beach. It was January 1st. I believe it was January 1st. And I think it was below freezing outside, or maybe it was right hovering around 30, 32 degrees. And we were going into the Puget Sound, which is in the Seattle area. So this is salt water, ocean salt water, cold water up that far north, freezing cold. I don't know how cold. It felt like 1,000,000 degrees cold, but it probably wasn't obviously that cold. And then it was just silly fun. I was all wrapped up in a blanket. And and down comforters, and everyone around us they were all wearing their ski jackets and hoodies and mittens because it was so cold outside. And then just before they blew a horn for us to run into the water, and this was a run in, run out. I gave my blanket over to my kiddo. I ran in. I made it all the way up to my neck, but it was so cold that I lost my breath, and I literally started gasping and having trouble breathing. I was amazed, actually, and I wasn't, I'm strong, I'm tough, I'm a tough nutter here, and got in and couldn't wait to get out. And the second I got out of the water, the crazy thing was for about 5 minutes, I wasn't cold. I was wearing nothing but a bikini. I was completely wet. I even got my hair wet, but I couldn't get my face in the water. It was just, I thought I would die. So I trust my gut. took some photos, and after about 5 minutes, I started getting really cold again, and I got home and I got in a shower and I was fine. So that's what a polar plunge really is. That's what you can expect. A few years ago, 2018, Chicago actually called off their polar plunge because it was sub-zero temperatures. It was really too cold. If you have heart conditions, if you have health conditions, be very, very careful because there's a lot of social media and info out there of folks trying to convince people of the health benefits of a cold plunge, and there is some truth to that. But you actually, if you have health conditions and you go into too cold, you actually can go into shock and die. So I don't recommend a jump in the water one. It's more of a walk in the water as far as you can one there. But if you do a polar plunge this year or next year, it is exhilarating and it's great. Bragging rights. So there we go. Polar plunges 101. If you don't have health issues, give it a try. Tell me about it and I'll cheer you on. Alrighty. Bye-bye now. Exercise should not be dreadful, but getting off the couch, we know, is the hardest exercise of all. Did you know that Couch to Active has an app? It's the easiest way to keep track of and follow the Couch to Active podcast. So head on over to your app store, and it doesn't matter whether you're on an iPhone, a tablet, or an Android device. Search for Couch to Active, that's T-O Active. Download the app and check it out. Bye-bye now.